All of my implementation of design thinking has occurred mainly in the humanities, in both writing and teaching writing and literature, as well as teaching people how to do multimedia presentation and technology, and in the field of music. Two projects that I hold really dear that implement various aspects of design thinking, and both of them are educational, which is where I use design thinking the most, in trying to figure out what people need to be taught rather than teach them what I think they need to learn. So one of the areas that is very important to me is a program that we have, Presenting with Purpose, which teaches people how to present in a way that is exciting, interactive, and powerful. One of the projects that I also work with is called Music Matters, and I work with local musicians, and one of them is by the name of Victor Wooten. He's won 5 Grammys, he's a great musician. But we take music and teach people concepts through music-centered activities. We won't be teaching music, but we'll be using music because it's a universal language. And we involve a lot of people coming up on stage and doing things with us. So as a way of, again, gaining empathy, learning more about them, but using music as a tool to teach concepts about leadership and learning. One of the lessons I learned from designing this curriculum, which allows me to go into corporations as well as schools to teach them about presenting, is that we first must listen to the people that we're teaching, to essentially need find with them, figuring out what they need, what those specific people need. On any given task, people have different needs. They're not all the same. Their knowledge may be different. So one of the first tasks I have when I begin to work with someone in a corporation is to figure out what their employees need or what the students need and what they already know. So my first task really is listening, which is something I'll be talking about today. At the core of it is empathy. To teach anything, I think, well, to teach well, you must first connect with students or people or your peers. And listening is a part of that. Walking in their shoes, to use an expression, is part of that process. And so empathy to me is probably at the core of any kind of teaching, because you have to connect with the person you're teaching. In my ecosystem, education is one of the ways, the best way for me to disseminate design thinking. But not just to teach it, but to teach it by embodying it, to use Verhonig's term, by living it. If you're going to teach people about interactive presentation, you can't do that properly unless you provide an interactive presentation in the teaching process. So employing it myself, demonstrating it while I'm teaching it, to me is crucial to disseminating it, not just telling people what to do, but showing them by doing it myself.